Somebody's helping me in the garden. Are you filling that hole up? Are you? Yes, he is. I just dug that too, to put a plant in. Hello? Hello? Nothing. He's very busy right now. Hey everybody, welcome to Mondays with Mark. I'm Mark, and this is SmokeySteveAndMarc. Oh, yes it is. Oh man, welcome back. It is super nice to see you. Oh, yes it is. Happy Monday, everybody, right? Oh man, and I couldn't be more excited about the video tonight. Yes, we have a fantastic project tonight. We do. We're gonna make a hanging cauldron planter. Oh, yes, and I'm so excited about it because if you remember, I wanted to share this last week, but the weather just was not cooperating. But we have had such nice weather recently. It like broke, I think it was Thursday it started to warm up of last week, and we had a beautiful weekend, and I was able to spend well, most of it outside in the garden, which is kind of my happy place, you know. So, yeah, we're going to do that tonight, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, you know, I got to check in with you. How you doing? How you doing? I really hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great weekend. We did here, like I said, I was in the garden most of the weekend. We spent a lot of time outside this weekend, which was very nice. It feels like for more than a year now, we've all been stuck inside, you know? So it was nice to get out. It really was. And some of our restrictions are being lifted and stuff. So future's looking pretty good, you know? I hope the weather holds out. I do. But I did want to say something. I am so thrilled that that you, well, the most of you, seem to really enjoy last week's project on the Moon Madness video. And that was our calming jars. Yes. Oh, man. I got so many. I think I got more messages and comments about this project probably than any other one so far. So it really made me happy. And y'all sent in pictures. Oh, man. I love to see your pictures of something that we did together on Mondays with Mark. I just love to see them. And in fact, another viewer, Jay, even sent a video.
Guess what project I did today? I finished the calming jar. It looks really cool when it swirls around. I used sort of a blue food color, and then there's purple sand in here. And I did a little glitter action and painted the lid, but it looks really neat.
Oh, very cool. Thank you, Jay, for sending that video. And I don't know. I really like that. I just do. I just like that. It's really cool. So yeah, I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. And I wanted to say, let's see here. I wanted to read you one of the messages I got because she pointed out something that I did not point out in the video. Okay, and this is from Sherry Z. And she says, okay, here, let's go. Okay. Hey, Mark. Thank you so much for the video tonight. Moon Madness has become one of my favorite segments of y'all's. I love it, y'all's. I'm so happy that you did the project of the Galaxy calming jars. I always thought calming jars were directed at children as a way to calm them down. They're also called calm down jars. Yeah, I heard that. calm down jars. It was so nice to see this project in a way that adults can enjoy and benefit from it as well. It has helped me so much in this past time with my anxiety. I'm glad to hear that too as well, because that's really the purpose of it, you know. So again, thank you very much, and always a pleasure to watch. So anyway, thank you, Sherry, so much for that message, and I wanted to read that out loud because, yeah, I didn't mention that. So often we think of these calm down jars or calming jars or stress jars, if you want to call them, as something as directed towards children, as a STEM activity, as literally a way to bring the focus back in, calm down, like if they're having a rough day or if they're in they're very anxious or something like that. But it just didn't even like occur. It just seems so natural to me that this would be a great project for adults too, because I'll tell you what, I have one at work and I use it all the time. It really does help. So anyway, thank you all who sent in pictures and videos and comments about that. I'm really happy you liked it. And if you didn't make one, check out last week's video. You gotta make one. It's super, super easy to do. And I'll put a tutorial up on Facebook tonight. I have it finished. I just haven't posted it yet. So you'll be able to download it and just follow the directions. All right. So, okay, I think I talked enough here. So we on to tonight's project. Yes, it's the very first Garden 2021 video. So I saw a picture of this project last year at the end of the season. I think it was in the fall sometime. And I was like, oh, I really have to make this, but it was so late in the season that I knew that, I'd have to wait until this year to do it. So I went out in the garden and we made one from scratch, actually. And I videotaped it. So I have a really cool video on how to make a hanging cauldron planter for you. Super cool. Before we get to that, I'm going to do regular updates on the garden for you, like how it's growing and how things are coming along, because I feel maybe I want to share that with y'all, especially for people who may not have a yard or may not have a garden, or maybe you live in an apartment and can't have a garden. So maybe doing regular updates more so than last year. I didn't really do too many updates, but we did do some projects last year. But I think we'll do some regular updates so you can see like how the garden's growing and stuff, and maybe you can experience it in a small little way yourself, and get the experience that I get from it, because it has helped me so much. Gardening for me is very therapeutic, and it kind of helps the mental gymnastics I do sometimes. Can you relate? So there's something about getting outside and getting in the dirt and, planting something and caring for something and watch it grow and mature and then produce something, a flower or a vegetable or a fruit. There's something very therapeutic and satisfying about that, So if you are even considering doing a garden, I highly recommend it, okay? I have plenty of videos on how to get started and different projects to do in the garden, and there's a lot of information out there on the web if you're just beginning too. And you don't need a yard to do it. You can do it inside too. You can do a container garden. And yes, having a house plant is kind of like gardening, you're still caring for something, right? So hey, get a houseplant even, and we're right in the middle of doing our container potato project, where we're growing potatoes in a container this year. We're right in the middle of it. I'm documenting it as it's going. So I think we're on, gosh, I don't even know what week we're on. We have to be in the months now. I think we're on our 3rd month with that. I'm not sure. I got to check it because the update is later this week. So we'll be getting back to that. So anyway, you want to get your hands dirty? Want to get started? All right, well, I'm going to change out of these, and maybe you should too. Put on some old clothes because we're going to get dirty, all right? And I guess I'll see you outside, all right? Okay. So today we are going to make a hanging cauldron planter. Oh, how cool. So let's start with our materials. So we're going to need two 2x2x8 pieces of lumber, two 3-inch wood screws, some twine. In addition to that, we're going to need a cauldron planter, some logs and branches, potting soil, and some rocks and stones, and plants, of course, plants. I'm using celosia for the flames and carpet of snow for inside the cauldron. And those are all your materials you need to make this project. Oh yes, so it's drizzling a little bit. I hope the rain holds off, fingers crossed, okay? Because this is a fun project. So let's start building the frame, okay? All right. Start by measuring your lumber and cutting it to the sizes we need. That would be two 5.5-foot pieces, one 2.5-foot piece, and two 3-inch pieces of lumber. Then I took the smaller piece, the 2.5-foot piece, and I attached it to the two larger pieces using wood screws, creating the frame. Then, for a finishing touch, I took the two 3-inch pieces and I attached them to the top of either side of the frame using permanent glue. Yepers, that's all there is to it. Our frame is done. Well, with the exception of a few finishing touches, but we'll talk about that in a second, okay? So, the next thing I did was I put the frame into the ground, and I did that by digging 2 holes about 1.5 feet deep on each side, and I put the frame down in it, and then I made sure that the dirt was nice and tightly packed all around it, okay? Now, if you want something a little more permanent, you could always fill the holes with cement first, and then put your frame in it. That would definitely be a little more permanent than what I did, okay? Just an option for you there, okay? All right, so the finishing touches. So I wanted to have this look, what do we say, a little rustic, you know, a little old, little rustic. So I have some finishing touches to the frame that I wanted to show you. I took some regular raw twine or jute, and I just, on either side here, I just looped it around. I did some crisscrosses to make it look like it's holding, the string is holding it together, you know what I mean? Just like so. And then I tied it off in the back, and then it looks like that. I think it looks pretty cool, huh? Now, I told you before that this project is totally customizable, right? For example, the wood you use. You could very easily paint this wood or stain it. I decided to go with just a raw look. One, it's a little bit easier, right? But again, I would like the weather to change it. So, you know, as the months go on, and the weather hits it, it's going to change and darken and look a little more rustic as the season goes on, okay? All right, so look, we're moving right along here. So let's talk the bonfire. To create our living bonfire, take old logs and branches and place them in a circular fashion all around the bottom of the frame. Then we're going to plant our flowers. I just strategically placed the flowers in spaces in between the branches and the logs all around the base of the frame, something like this. Then, to finish the look, I took rocks and boulders and I put them all around the outside of our bonfire, just like this. I don't know. I think Oscar approves. Not too bad, huh? I think it looks pretty good. Oh, I can't wait for the plants to grow. Wait till you see them. They'll get real big and they're all red and yellow and orange. And that will mimic flames for our cauldron. All right, let's talk about the cauldron. All right, so I have my cauldron ready to go here. And I got this on Amazon for 20 bucks. Oh yeah, can't beat that. Nice and sturdy too, so it'll be just perfect. If you're looking for the same thing, this is a 12-inch black cauldron planter, and I found it on Amazon, okay? All right, so why don't we get started on filling our planter up, okay? So the first thing I wanted to make sure you do is make sure you have drainage holes. Now this one had already perforated holes that I just had to push out with a screwdriver, so that's ready to go. And now it's tip time. Oh, I probably shared this tip like 100 times on the channel, I think. I don't know. Use coffee filters in the bottom of your planter, okay? And I'll show you. Just like so. This keeps all the soil from coming out of the holes. Yes, use it in any potted plant you have, okay? All right, so we're gonna do that, and then we're going to fill our planter with some soil, okay? Now I'm just putting some in right now to show you. Okay, so now, if I filled this whole thing up with soil, it's going to be extremely heavy, and we actually don't need that much soil, okay? So another little tip, empty water bottles. Put a couple of those in there every so often, just like that, and it will make it a lot lighter for you, okay? Now, another tip that I use quite often on the channel is you can also put pieces of styrofoam mixed right in your soil too. That also kind of lightens it up a little bit, okay? So I already had some in my soil, so I'm kind of doing both here, all right? So I'm just gonna fill this all the way up, almost to the top, and then it's plant time. So I decided that I'm going to use seeds for mine, okay? Now, if you're gonna use already grown seedlings, okay, you're gonna wanna leave more space than I am. I'm going all the way to the top. About a ½ inch from the top is what I'm doing, okay? Like so. All right, so the plants for the cauldron, I think it would, I'm going with carpet of snow. Yes, really cool, okay? Because what'll happen is these get no bigger than 12 inches tall, okay? And they mound, you know? And then they're gonna overspill the planter. It's almost gonna look like something bubbling out of a cauldron. I can't wait until these grow, all right? So to do this, I'm just going to open my seed packet here, and there's no special way I'm doing this because as this grows, we'll revisit it, and I'll show you what to do. That's plenty of seeds. Plenty, let me tell you. All right, so I'm just going to sprinkle them all around here, just like so. All right. Okay, that's really, really plenty. I have plenty left over. By the way, this makes an awesome ground cover too, so I'm going to be using it in the garden as well. All right, and then I'm going to cover it up again with just about a ½ inch of loose potting soil, okay? And if I didn't say it before, make sure you're using potting soil, okay? Not garden soil or not topsoil, okay? You don't want to use that. It's no good. All right. So, that's just fine. All right. And now I'll just give it a little bit of water and we're going to hang this up. And that's what we're going to do next. All right. Okay, to hang our cauldron, I just took some thick jute twine and I looped it around the handle of the cauldron and the top of the frame and tied it into a double knot on each side, just like so. Then, for the finishing touch, I took regular thin wire and wrapped it all around both of the knots, just like you see here. I think that adds a nice finishing touch to our project. What do you think? And that's it. What do you think, guys? Nice, huh? Ah, it really turned out nice. I am happy. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, I gotta get cleaned up, and you know what? I'll see you inside, okay? All right. So what'd you think? Did you like it? you know what? I have to say, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I am. I've been wanting to do that for quite some time. So I don't know. I'm anxious to see what it looks like as it keeps growing. Of course, I think I'm going to tweak it a little bit here and there, you know, like, I mean, around Halloween. Oh, yeah, you know, I'm going to light that up somehow. And I think I'm going to hang a sign on it that says double, double, toil and trouble. I think that'd be so cool. And I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe, I was thinking maybe taking the handle off and putting 2 ropes to hold it up above there. I don't know, we'll see. You know, you can never just be satisfied when you're done, right? You gotta tweak and, yeah, whatever. But anyway, so for ongoing care of your cauldron planter, you just want to make sure that you keep your plants watered and fertilized all through the season, and I think it will look stunning once those plants start to grow. I'm really, really excited. And of course, I'll be sharing updates about it, you know. So, I guess that brings us to the end of our video tonight. The end of our time together. Well, till next week anyway, right? So, I hope you enjoyed the project. I hope you give it a try yourself. If you do, definitely send me some pictures, okay? Okay. And thank you so, so much for spending your time with me. It means the world to me, okay? Remember to stay safe, stay well, but above all else, stay positive. Yes. All right. I'll see you next time, everybody. Ciao.